Math 5, Quarter 4, Week 2, Melc-Based. Let's learn about volume of a cube and rectangular prism. Hello kids, it's me, Teacher Frel. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and hit the notification bell for the latest video. You can also follow my Facebook page, Teacher Frel TV. Welcome back kids! For today's lesson in Math 5, we will discuss about volume of a cube and rectangular prism. For most essential learning competencies, visualizes the volume of a cube and rectangular prism. Names the appropriate unit of measure used for measuring the volume of a cube and rectangular prism. Derives the formula in finding the volume of a cube and rectangular prism using cubic centimeter and cubic meter. And converts cubic centimeter to cubic meter and vice versa. Cubic centimeter to liter and vice versa. When we are asked to find an amount that will occupy space and not just a surface, we are being introduced to another application of measurement, which is the volume. Volume is the three-dimensional size of an object measured in cubic units. It is expressed in cubic centimeters, cubic decimeters, cubic meters, cubic inches, cubic feet, cubic yards, and others. Read the following problem. A science teacher handed each of her pupils a rectangular flower pot 6 inches by 5 inches. The entire class was brought to the school garden and the pupils were asked to fill up their flower pot with soil until it reaches the height of 8 inches. How much soil will be needed by each pupil? In the given problem, we are asked to find the amount of soil needed to fill the flower pot up to the height of 8 inches. Let us visualize the problem. First, the height of the prism is not given, but since the length and width are given, area would be length times width. So the length of this rectangular prism is 6 inches and the width is 5 inches. We will use the formula in getting the area. Area equals length times width. Length is 6 inches and the width is 5 inches. 6 times 5 equals 30 square inches. So the area of this rectangular prism is 30 square inches. Second, suppose a pupil was able to fill in an amount of soil up to the height of 8 inches. So remember, the length of this rectangular prism is 6 inches and the width is 5 inches. Now the height is 8 inches. Now we will get the volume of this rectangular prism. The formula is volume equals area times height. This means that volume is just the product of the three dimensions. Area, which is the length times width, and height of the rectangular prism. Third, suppose a pupil was able to fill in an amount of soil up to the height of 2 inches. So the height of this rectangular prism is 2 inches. The formula to get the volume is volume equals area times height. We already get the area, which is 30 square inches, multiplied by height, which is 2 inches. 30 times 2 equals 60 cubic inches. Notice that an amount of soil occupies a space representing the volume. Since there are three dimensions, area, which is length and width, and height, we write volume in cubic units. Fourth, suppose a pupil was able to fill in an amount of soil up to the height of 8 inches as stated in the problem. The formula is volume equals area times height. So the area is 30 square inches times the height, which is 8 inches. 30 times 8 equals 240 cubic inches. This means that the total amount of soil to be put in the flower pot is 240 cubic inches. Therefore, each pupil will need 240 cubic inches of soil in their flower pot. Look at the figure below. This is a rectangular prism, which is made up of unit cubes. Can you find the volume of this figure? The volume of this figure is 30 cubic units. The length has 5 cubic. The width has 3 cubic. And the height has 2 cubic. And then multiply the length, the width, and the height. First, multiply the length and the width. 5 times 3 equals 15, then multiply the height. 15 times 2 equals 30. That's why we get the volume, which is 30 cubic units. Volume is measured according to the length, width, and height of the figure. So the formula in finding the volume of a rectangular prism is volume equals length times width times height, where L is the length, W is the width, and H is the height. Study the solid figure below. This is a cube, where E is the length of an edge of the cube. So the volume of the cube is 5 times 5 times 5 is equals to 125 cubic units. Since a cube has length equals width equals height equals side, therefore volume equals cubic side, or volume equals side times side times side, or volume equals cubic edge, or volume equals edge times edge times edge. The cubic units we use most often for volume are cubic centimeter, cubic decimeter, cubic meter, millimeter, and liter. These are related as follows, or the conversions of units. 1,000 cubic centimeter is equivalent to 1 cubic decimeter. 1,000 cubic decimeter is equivalent to 1 cubic meter. 1 million cubic centimeter is equivalent to 1 cubic meter. 1 cubic decimeter is equivalent to 1 liter. 1,000 cubic centimeter is equivalent to 1 liter. 1 cubic centimeter is equivalent to 1 milliliter. And 1,000 liter is equivalent to 1 cubic meter. To convert the cubic unit of measure to its larger equivalence, use division. And to convert the bigger unit to its smaller equivalence, use multiplication. Example number 1. 5 million cubic centimeter is equivalent to how many cubic meter? Let's see the conversion of unit. For every 1 million cubic centimeter, there is 1 cubic meter. To convert the smaller unit to larger equivalence, use division. 5 million divided by 1 million equals, use the cancellation method. In 5 million, there are 6 zeros. Cancel also the same number of zeros in 1 million. Now, divide. 5 divided by 1 equals 5. So 5 million cubic centimeter is equivalent to 5 cubic meters. Example number 2. 4.3 cubic meters is equivalent to how many cubic centimeter? Remember, in every 1 million cubic centimeter, there is 1 cubic meter. To convert bigger unit to smaller equivalence, use multiplication. So multiply 4.3 cubic meter times 1 million cubic centimeter equals 4,300,000 cubic centimeter. So 4.3 cubic meter is equivalent to 4,300,000 cubic centimeter. Example number 3. 7.25 liters is equivalent to how many cubic meters? Remember, for every 1,000 liters, there is 1 cubic meters. To convert smaller unit to larger equivalents, use division. So divide 7.25 divided by 1,000 equals 0.00725. So therefore, 7.25 liter is equivalent to 0.00725 cubic meters. Example number 4. 12,000 cubic centimeter is equivalent to how many liters? For every 1,000 cubic centimeter, there is 1 liter. To convert smaller unit to larger equivalents, use division. So 12,000 divided by 1,000, first, use the cancellation method. Cancel the zeros. So 12 divided by 1 equals 12. So 12,000 cubic centimeter is equivalent to 12 liters. So 12,000 cubic centimeter is equivalent to 12 liters. And for example number 5, 3,500 liters is equivalent to how many cubic meters? For every 1,000 liter, there is 1 cubic meter. To convert smaller unit to larger equivalents, use division. 3,500 divided by 1,000 equals, first, cancel zeros. There are 2 zeros in 3,500. Cancel also 2 zeros in 1,000. Now divide. 35 divided by 10 equals 3.5. So 3,500 liters is equivalent to 3.5 cubic meters. And now, let us proceed for the following activities. Learning Task 1. Count the number of cubic units to find the volume of the following rectangular prisms and cubes. Number 1. This is a rectangular prism. The formula is volume equals length times width times height. The length is 4, width is 4, and the height is 2. So 4 times 4 times 2 equals 32. The volume of this rectangular prism is 32 cubic units. Number 2. This is a rectangular prism. So the formula is volume equals length times width times height. The length has 4 cubic, the width has 3 cubic, and the height has 3 cubic. 4 times 3 times 3 equals 36 cubic units. Number 3. This is a cube. Each side is 3 centimeter. So the formula for this is volume equals side times side times side, or 3 times 3 times 3 equals 27. The volume of this cube is 27 cubic units. Number 4. This figure is a cube. So the volume for this is side times side times side. Each side is 5 centimeter. So 5 times 5 times 5 equals 125 cubic units. And number 5, this figure is a cube. The formula is volume equals side times side times side. Each side has 4 centimeter. So 4 times 4 times 4 equals 64 cubic units. For learning task 3, study the illustrations and answer the questions below. First question, what kind of solid figure is the container? Correct. This container is a rectangular prism. Number 2, how many layers are there? Count the layers or the height. Correct. There are 8 layers. Number 3. What are the dimensions of the container? Very good. The dimensions of this container are length, width, and height. Number 4. How many cubic units are there in one layer? The formula in finding the volume of a rectangular prism is length times width times height. The length has 6 cubic, the width has 4 cubic, and the height has 1 cubic. 6 times 4 times 1 equals 24 cubic units. Therefore, there are 24 cubic units in one layer. And number 5, how many cubic units fit the container? The formula is volume equals length times width times height. So again, the length of this container has 6 cubic, the width has 4 cubic, and the height has 8 cubic. So length 6, width 4, height 8. 6 times 4 times 8 equals 192 cubic units. So therefore, there are 192 cubic units in this container. For learning task 4, convert the following cubic units as indicated. 2 million cubic centimeter is equals to how many cubic meters? So remember, in every 1 million cubic centimeter, there is 1 cubic meter. To convert smaller unit to bigger unit, use division. So 2 million divided by 1 million equals, first cancel all the zeros. They have equal zeros. And now divide. 2 divided by 1 equals 2. 2 million cubic centimeter is equals to 2 cubic meters. Number 2. 5.4 cubic meter is equivalent to how many cubic centimeter? So again, in every 1 million cubic centimeter, there is 1 cubic meter. To convert bigger unit to smaller unit, use multiplication. 5.4 times 1 million equals 5,400,000. 5.4 cubic meters is equivalent to 5,400,000 cubic centimeter. Number 3. 25,000 cubic centimeter is equivalent to how many liters? In every 1,000 cubic centimeter, there is 1 liter. To convert smaller unit to bigger unit, use division. 25,000 divided by 1,000 equals, first cancel the zeros. 25 divided by 1 equals 25. So therefore, 25,000 cubic centimeter is equivalent to 25 liters. Number 4. 15.2 liters is equivalent to how many cubic centimeter? In every 1,000 cubic centimeter, there is 1 liter. To convert bigger unit to smaller unit, use multiplication. 15.2 times 1,000 equals 15,200. So therefore, 15.2 liter is equivalent to 15,200 cubic centimeter. And number 5, 9,500 cubic decimeter is equivalent to how many cubic meters? Remember, in every 1,000 cubic decimeter is equal to 1 cubic meters. To convert smaller unit to bigger unit, use division. 9,500 divided by 1,000 equals, first cancel zeros. In 9,500, there are 2 zeros. So we will cancel 2 zeros in 1,000. Now divide. 95 divided by 10 equals 9.5. So therefore, 9,500 cubic decimeter is equivalent to 9.5 cubic meters. Learning Task 5. On a grid paper, draw the following rectangular prisms or cubes with the following volumes. Number 1. The volume is 15 cubic centimeter. You will draw a rectangular prism for this to get the length, width, and the height. So therefore, the length is 5, the width is 3, and the height is 1. To get the volume, which is 15 cubic centimeter. Number 2, 18 cubic centimeter. You will draw a rectangular prism to get the length, width, and the height. So therefore, the length is 3, the width is 2, and the height is 3 to get the volume, which is 18 cubic centimeter. Number 3, 27 cubic centimeter. You will draw a cube to get the measure of each side. So every side is 3 centimeter. So therefore, 3 times 3 times 3 to get the volume, which is 27 cubic centimeter. Number 4, 30 cubic centimeter. You will draw a rectangular prism to get the length, width, and the height. Therefore, the length is 5, the width is 3, and the height is 2 to get the volume, which is 30 cubic centimeter. And number 5, 64 cubic centimeter. You will draw a rectangular prism to get the length, width, and the height. The length is 16, the width is 4, and the height is 1 to get the volume, which is 64 cubic centimeter. Remember, volume is the amount of space occupied by a solid figure. It is the number of cubic units needed to fill in the container. Volume is three-dimensional, which is composed of the area of the base, which is length times width times the height. That is why it is always expressed in cubic units such as cubic centimeter, cubic decimeter, cubic meter, cubic inches, cubic feet, etc. The formula for finding the volume of a cube is volume equals side times side times side, or cubic sides, or edge times edge times edge, or cubic edge, while the formula for finding the volume of a rectangular prism is volume equals length times width times height. For learning task 6, letter A, give the volume of the following solid figures in cubic units. Number 1, this solid figure is a cube. The formula is side times side times side. The measure of each sides are the same. So the sides are 4 times 4 times 4. So therefore, the answer is 64 cubic units. Number 2, this figure is a rectangular prism. So therefore, you will get the length, width, and the height. The length is 5, the width is 3, and the height is 2. So 5 times 3 times 2, the answer is 30 cubic units. So the volume of this rectangular prism is 30 cubic units. Number 3, the volume of this solid figure is 28 cubic units. Number 4, the volume of this figure is 12 cubic units. And number 5, the volume of this solid figure is 14 cubic units. For letter B, what is the appropriate unit of measure to be used in measuring the volume of the following object? Is it cubic centimeter, cubic decimeter, or cubic meters? Number 6, aquarium. What is the appropriate unit of measure to be used in finding the volume of this? Correct. Use cubic decimeter. Number 7, classroom. What is the appropriate unit of measure to be used? Correct. Use cubic meters. Cabinet. What is the appropriate unit of measure to be used? Correct. Use cubic meter. Number 9, plant box. What is the appropriate unit of measure to be used? Correct. Use cubic decimeter. And number 10, dictionary. what is the appropriate unit of measure to be used? Correct. Use cubic centimeter. For letter B, convert the following cubic units as indicated. 35.5 cubic meter is equivalent to how many cubic centimeter? In every 1 million cubic centimeter, there is 1 cubic meter. To convert bigger unit to smaller unit, use multiplication. So 35.5 times 1 million equals 35,500,000. 35.5 cubic meter is equivalent to 35,500,000 cubic centimeter. Number 12. 87,000 cubic centimeter is equivalent to how many liters? In every 1,000 cubic centimeter, there is 1 liter. To convert smaller unit to bigger unit, use division. So 87,000 divided by 1,000 equals 87. So 87,000 cubic centimeter is equivalent to 87 liters. For letter C, read and solve the following problems. Number 13. A truck delivers 4.5 cubic meters of sand. How many cubic decimeters of sand does a truck hold? 4.5 cubic meter is equivalent to how many cubic decimeter? Remember, 1,000 cubic decimeter is equivalent to 1 cubic meter. To convert bigger unit to smaller unit, use multiplication. 4.5 times 1,000 equals 4,500. So therefore, 4.5 cubic meter is equivalent to 4,500 cubic decimeter. Number 14. A water tank can hold 3 cubic meters of water. How many liters of water can fill it? 3 cubic meters is equivalent to how many liters? In every 1,000 liter, there is 1 cubic meters. To convert bigger unit to smaller unit, use multiplication. So 3 times 1,000 equals 3,000. Therefore, 3 cubic meter is equivalent to 3,000 liters. And number 15, a bottle of 1.5 liters of energy drink is transferred to bottles of 250 cubic centimeter each. How many bottles will be used? 1.5 liter is equivalent to how many cubic centimeter? In every 1,000 cubic centimeter, there is 1 liter. To convert bigger unit to smaller unit, use multiplication. So 1.5 times 1,000 equals 1,500. So therefore, 1.5 liter is equivalent to 1,500 cubic centimeter. So 6 bottles will be used. So kids, do you understand our lesson for today? Wow! Good job! Kids, I hope you learn a lot from this lesson. Until our next topic, bye-bye kids! Thanks for watching!